With volcanoes, it's always the same, right? An eruption is looming, but the question is when? Immediately or in the near future, or will it take longer? Scientists can't tell us that, but there's certain signs that a volcano is at least creeping towards the next eruption. So we've been seeing the headlines about Spain, Mount Teide on the island, on the famous tourist island of Tenerife. So headlines are in many newspapers and in many reports, eruptions looming, huge volcano in Tenerife is bubbling. So is that really the case? So scientists are predicting another eruption, but it's only a matter of time. But what time? That is the problem. Many say a volcanic eruption is imminent on the largest island in the Canaries, because magma from deeper depth has caused the island to bulge. The Canary Island of Tenerife is one of the most visited tourist destinations in Spain. I'll give you an example. For example, last year in 2024, 10 million guests were counted there. Compare this to Santorini that we're reporting about right now because of that massive earthquake swarm. 3.5 million tourists on that island of Santorini in Greece. So here we have 10 million people that are basically visiting that volcanic island. Of course, that's a beautiful island. The sunshine's guaranteed and pleasant temperatures all year round. Rocky and sandy beaches, idyllic villages provide a huge variety on the coast and in the interior. The landscape is super, super cool. It offers deserts and cloud forests. It's very varied thanks to the size of the island, and they call it's the green island of the Canary Island. And one thing that is visible that thrones on the island is this super high volcanic mountain Teide. It's 3,718 meters tall. And that gigantic volcano Teide on Tenerife is active again. And that's the problem. It's huge and it has woken up. Nobody doubts that. So at the end of this January, the Scientific Committee for the Evaluation and Monitoring of Volcanic Phenomena of the Canary Islands, short there are CCES, have alerted locals and tourism professionals by announcing that the Teide volcano was exhibiting geophysical activities characterized by increased seismic activity, geodetic deformations, and gas emissions. And we know earthquakes, land rise, gas emissions, that should always worry us. If a volcano does that, doesn't mean that there's an imminent eruption, but something's brewing and that could lead up to eruption at a later date, but of course, immediately as well. So this is what the Canary Islands regional government has also made public and stated. So this committee has met after a series of earthquakes that have occurred on January 22nd that has worried people. It was near the town of Villaflor and at the southern foot of Teide. So if there's an earthquake swarm around a volcano, that's always like, watch that, what's going on? And the tremors had magnitudes between 0.6 and 1.5, and they occurred at depth between 3 and 13 kilometers, so shallow. And then on February 5th, there were also 2 more tremors near the Teide summit with magnitudes just over 1. And you might say, well, the magnitudes are very, very low. Yeah, but for volcanoes, this is normal. They usually don't create like in the 7th, like you see in California or something like this. So if magma's moving or something's rising up, rocks are cracking, this could cause these tremors. So scientists are saying Tenerife is in danger. But is it in immediate danger? That's the question, right? And that is an interesting question because tourist season is coming. They have seen sulfur clouds at Teide and the earthquakes. So scientists are saying this is an announcement that the volcano is making for the next eruption. Could also be an intrusion, but who knows? And since 2016, basically, the monitoring networks have been recording geophysical changes underneath Teide. And this has increased. And it has increased significantly since 2022, according to the CCES. And they're saying important indicators such as seismic swarms, the ground deformations, and fluctuations in gas emissions point to an increasing pressure increase in the hydrothermal system beneath the stratovolcano Teide. So where is this coming from? Something's happening. And I'm showing you here in this pictures, this is one of the steam vents that you can see on Teide near the summit, like the fumaroles. So according to the researchers, what is particularly remarkable, in my opinion, in addition to the swarms of the earthquakes, are the simultaneous changes that we see in the chemical composition at these steam outlets in the area of the Canaries, how this is called, at that huge crater around the volcanic peak of Teide. So geodetic measurements also indicate a slight but measurable deformation of the ground. So the peak of Teide, along with the island, has risen by 1 centimeter. So that land rise proves that the pressure is increasing underneath the island because there are magma chambers. And the scientists are speaking of an anomalous activity of Teide. The researchers are making it clear so that we really understand that the question is not whether there will be an eruption, but when it will happen. And so it is clear it will erupt eventually. There was an interview with the head of the National Geographic Institute on the Canary Islands. It's called IGN. And the head, Itasia Dominguez, that's the name, said, "We know that there could be an eruption on Tenerife." That's quote. There's something like the INGV for Campi Flegrei, in case you follow my channel for a while. So they're the ones that monitor this volcano closely, and it's very, very closely monitored. She further said, "It is fairly certain that the Teide on Tenerife will erupt one day. However, it's not certain when and how the volcano will erupt. So there could be a relatively unspectacular eruption on a secondary volcano because it just has several craters, or a larger eruption due to the awakening of the Teide itself." So everything's possible. And we remember in 2021 the eruption of the Cumbre Vieja on La Palma that has destroyed 1,600 buildings. That was quite intense. So further, the scientist says it's conceivable that a new volcano could form in the Canaries in a single eruption. So this could be short, or it could also last for years. So the most recent volcanic eruption on the neighboring island that I just mentioned on La Palma in 2021 fell into this category. The great volcano Teide was formed by many repeated eruptions accumulating the lava flows, creating the stratovolcano. So should there be a volcanic eruption on Teide, what effects would that have on the island of Tenerife? They're using calculations that are being made with the help of artificial intelligence, and these calculations have shown that the tourist destinations around the Teide could be hit by lava flows. Also pyroclastic ash clouds, several hundred degrees hot. They're coming out there explosively, and if they hit you, it's a huge problem. toxic gases and also landslides coming down from that volcano. We're seeing that at Stromboli. There was a hiker that was unalived by such a pyroclastic ash explosion coming from Stromboli. And then the lava's flowing down that slide of fire, how they call it. And there's always debris and smaller landslides there flowing into the water that could cause tsunamis. But you know, it's not good if you have a huge tourist destination there, because if that is at the foot of the volcano, that goes fast, that people could be hit there. There is not much evacuation time. So scientists are saying an evacuation could have catastrophic consequences for the island. The island's capital, Santa Cruz de Tenerife, and the tourist centers in the southwest of the island could be hit. And that would also, aside from what I just said, affect the air quality as well as traffic and infrastructure. That's always clear. But, you know, the beaches and other tourist attractions could also be affected. And of course, like air traffic and shipping routes could also be disrupted. So, of course, then Dominguez was asked, well, when will the next volcanic eruption occur on Tenerife? And she said, quote, well, the precursor events can occur in 2 years or in 50 years. So that's why she was saying the situation must continue to be monitored, and at the same time, measures should be taken to prepare the population with like emergency rehearsals and exercises. She said there's no reason to panic right now, because right now there's no concrete evidence of an imminent eruption. But that doesn't mean that we couldn't have an imminent eruption, because with these volcanoes, things can change in a heartbeat. So the last volcanic eruption that has happened on Tenerife took place on the western slope of Teide from November 18th to November 27th in 1909. So quite a while ago. But over 2 square kilometers of land were devastated by lava and ash, but thankfully no one was hurt. And that has created a 60-meter high cinder cone. They called it Chiñero. And that can still be seen today. And it's at a height of like almost a little less than half the mountain, 1,556 meters. And we know these volcanoes, they can create quite a lot of fear because there's so much unknown that the scientists just cannot predict. And we've just seen it with these violent earthquakes near Santorini that was causing fear of volcanic eruption or a catastrophic earthquake. Then we have the Campi Flegrei near Naples. I mean, if you're new here, subscribe to my channel because I'm reporting about all of that. I'm keeping you on the pulse of Mother Earth, of these volcanoes. It's rumbling everywhere. We're just waiting for the next eruption in Iceland. I just released an interesting video. They're moving homes out of Grindavik, that town that was so devastated by the first event that occurred in November 2023. And now they're moving houses that sit on these cracks amidst the new eruption that is expected any second right now. So it remains interesting, guys. So I hope you liked that update. If you did, please leave this video a like and share it with your friends, and check out the links in the description of this video. There's ways to support the channel. Click the join button to become a supporting monthly channel member, or buy me a coffee on my buymeacoffee.com/silky site. That supports my animals, my dog's cancer vet bills, and the feed for my horses. And thanks for the supers that you're sending me here on YouTube. You're absolutely awesome. You have no idea how much that helps right now. And I hope to see you very, very soon. And stay prepared, stay informed, and stay safe. Wherever you are, there's just been tornadoes in Texas and Oklahoma. I've seen it, like only an F1 tornado has destroyed so many homes. It's kind of crazy. So yeah. My heart goes out to you wherever you are, and thank you for being on this channel. Bye bye, guys.